Hey guys, welcome to the Full Thrust Podcast. I'm Will.
And I'm Dan.
And we're here to talk about, guess what? You know, PulseChain. But not just any PulseChain. We're going to talk about the very controversial price predictions. Look, nobody knows what the price is going to be when it comes out. But we're going to try to make an attempt to see what it possibly could be at. What price it could possibly hit. I mean, it's almost impossible to tell where it's actually going to be because something like this has really never been done before with the whole system state copy.
Yeah.
And we're not really sure where it's going to go, but I am very, very bullish on PulseChain. And I'm going to throw around a couple prices and I'm going to tell you why I think that it's going to go to that level.
Yeah, I mean, I can sense your sentiment, but I'm more on the bearish side. So I'm curious to see what your price prediction will be.
Wait a minute, are you saying bearish or conservative? What do you?
Conservative. All right, let's be a little bit nicer.
Yeah,
to my thoughts.
I think we're both pretty bullish on it. But
Yeah, bearish.
I mean, there's definitely some conservative parts of it, and and probably more like moon boyish. So we're gonna talk about that.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. So what do you think? What do you think price it's going to launch at?
That's an interesting question because I would like to think that me being on the more conservative side, I think there's a lot of people that sacrificed. I think a lot of people sacrificed. There's I don't know how much was sacrificed for PulseChain, maybe like close to $1 billion, maybe like 800 million.
For PulseChain?
Yeah, PulseChain. 600, 700
Well,
million?
you also the OA sacrifice too.
Oh, so
yeah, it's billions. Yeah, yeah.
What was that, like 14 billion?
15, I think, something
15
like that.
billion.
Yeah, it's billions. It's in the billions. They said that the supply is estimated to be about 150 trillion.
Right,
but it could be more. It could be less. We don't know what the supply is yet. I know there's been a lot of speculation as to what the supply is going to be, but until we get word as to what the supply exactly is, we don't know what the supply is.
So what influence do you think that has on the price? Like that the OA sacrificed that much?
A very good influence on the price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I think it's going to pump so hard. Yeah, the OA sacrificed for the PulseChain. Let's back up. The OA is the origin address for Hex. The origin address owns a majority of about 50% of Hex. And what they did on the last day of the PulseChain sacrifice is the OA, the origin address, did sacrifice for PulseChain.
Right.
It was about $15 billion, and they're going to control about 90% of the supply of PulseChain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm very bullish on that because if the OA is controlling 90% of it, that's pretty good. Yeah. What happens when somebody buys or somebody controls the majority of it and never sells? When was the best time to buy Bitcoin?
When Satoshi owned 100% of the coins.
Exactly. And it was difficult to get and everybody was calling it a scam. But I think the OA owning 90% of it, yes. Mm-hmm. I've heard the criticism of it that makes it feel like it's centralized, right? A lot of people talk about that when they want to bring up the negatives, but that's going to do amazing things for the price. If the OA owns 90% of the supply and never sells any of it, that means the amount of Pulse that's going to be available on the market is going to be dictated by the people that sacrificed and own it. And do we think those people are going to sell right away, or are they going to hold it? We don't know, right? But my guess is that people aren't going to sell that right away. They're not going to sell that PulseChain immediately, and the OA definitely isn't going to sell because and they can't. Again, we talked about this before. If the OA owns 90% of the supply, how are they going to sell? How are they going to sell? The OA would kill the entire project, and I think the OA is there to make long-term legacy, life-changing wealth, and it's not going to just dump a bag like that and then kill everybody's bags. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And I think that's unique with this project specifically because I don't think we've ever had an OA with that much of the initial coin amount.
Yeah.
And in any other Ethereum-like project.
Yeah, just Satoshi Nakamoto with Bitcoin. He owned majority of it, but that was the best time to buy.
Right.
Because Bitcoin was free or a penny if you want to give it a value. And Satoshi owned majority of the coins, and it was very, very difficult to get. And I think when PulseChain releases, it's going to be very, very difficult to buy because I don't know a lot of people that are going to sell at a loss. And also the demand is very, very high, as we can see, because people are still sacrificing for PulseChain, even they were told not to. Stop sacrificing for PulseChain. Don't do it anymore. But people are like, no, I still want some. And I think the demand is there. I think we have a community of people that are expecting. I know there's no expectation of profits from the work of others that keeps this project from becoming a security, but I think there's an expectation that people see Richard Hart and they see the success of Hex and they say, I want some of that. I want some more of that, what Hex did. And quite frankly, I don't think those people are going to sell right away. So what does the price care about? People buying, holding, and never selling. And if we got a bunch of people that are really not going to sell right away, I think that's going to give the opportunity for the price to pump. What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree with you for the most part. And I think that, you know, I think that the gatekeeping that's done on Richard Hart currently may hurt the project at launch. I think it will. I think it'll restrict it a little bit because let's say someone that's new to the somewhat new to crypto, like they would need to know that their ERC20s are copied. They would need to know that they have to change their MetaMask wallet settings to be able to see these coins. I don't think right away they'll know it right away.
Okay, so you don't think it's going to pump right away?
I don't think it's going to pump right away.
See, I think it will. I think it will pump right away. I think there's so much hype around it, and I think what's going on is a lot of these influencers that don't talk about it, they've sacrificed. BitBoy Crypto, he basically said he sacrificed, but he's not talking about it. And you're right. You're right about the gatekeeping. He said it on stream that he sacrificed for PulseChain. So what do you think all of his boys did? They sacrificed too. The gatekeeping happens because Richard is not playing ball with people. He's not going to pay you to be on your show. He's not going to pay you to promote the product. He's not going to do any marketing. That's up to us.
Right.
And he wants organic pumps.
Right.
He wants organic thrust.
Yes.
And he doesn't want to artificially thrust a project. So what do you see with all these other projects that launch, right?
Right.
They launch, there's a lot of hype. Hey, we called BitBoy Crypto. We called this person. We called this influencer. The influencer gets paid. Oh, what about the other guy? Dogecoin Millionaire. Dogecoin Millionaire's out there promoting scams and rug pulls.
He's fun.
Yeah, he's funny. He's a funny guy, but he's promoting rug pulls and scams, literally. He tells you in the beginning of the episode, hey, I bought, I just, what should I invest in this coin? This looks like a scam to me, or maybe it isn't. But they paid him like $10,000 to essentially sell his soul.
Yeah, he doesn't mention that.
All these coins come in. You see a huge pump, right? And then you see a huge dump because they come in, they get all their influencers and all the Twitter people, and they go out there and they start pumping the bags up because they got paid a sum.
Right.
And they get to, do their thing and make their money. And who suffers? The people the bag holders, the people that are holding it. So what we usually see with ICOs or IDOs is that we see a huge influx, a huge pump, then a huge dump. And then most of the time, 90% of those coins don't even come back.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with.
So this project is like totally different than everything else that we're seeing.
I agree, and to your point, I think it provides a healthier ecosystem and a healthier, way of PulseChain achieving the amount of X's that you wanted to achieve. I don't think it'll just jump up to 100, 200x right away because of that, but it'll achieve that over time, I think, in a healthier manner.
See, I think it's going to do, I think the first couple days, I think you're going to see some crazy numbers. Don't be surprised. Yeah, don't be surprised.
All right.
Honestly, don't be surprised if you see 150x on the first day.
Oh my God.
I'm not saying it's going to stay there.
Oh dear God.
And I'm not even saying you're going to be able to take advantage of that. But the first couple days, you're going to see some crazy fluctuations.
So you're calling it right now, 150x.
Well, I think it will tap it. I think it will tap 150x on the first couple days. Yeah, it's crazy. But listen, I'm not saying that everybody's going to be able to take advantage and dump it. I just think we're going to see, it'll be on a wick. It'll be just going up and down and it will spike to 150x because we're going to see so much excitement. There's people that are waiting that we know of that are millionaires.
Yeah.
That didn't get into the PulseChain sacrifice that are literally chomping at the bit, waiting to get in.
Yeah.
It's just a fact.
Yeah.
They're always there. They're always around. They didn't know about the PulseChain sacrifice. They're not going to sacrifice now because it's not a good deal. They're going to come in with their powder, fresh powder.
Yeah.
And they're going to pump that up. VCs, all kinds of people are going to come in there and pump it. And I could see it doing some crazy fluctuations. I would say upwards to the first month. I think we're going to see a lot of crazy spikes. What do you think about that?
You even seen 6 months after the sacrifice that people are sacrificing $100,000, $300,000. That doesn't even make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Like, these are probably millionaires coming in late, but they still know the value of PulseChain, so they're going to put in a big bag. And it doesn't make sense, but hey, look, they're optimistic about it. So I think it is going to, for that reason, it is going to explode right away.
It will, and it's going to be, that's the, man, it's just the demand. I've never seen like demand like this. Like, people are literally like salivating to get in. And, you know, we talked about in our last video a bunch of ways where you could get in. And, you know, people are taking advantage of that. And, I think that's why it's going to pump. I think it's going to pump pretty good. And I don't think it's going to act like other IDOs. Like a lot of IDOs go, like, again, they go up, they go down, they crash down, and it takes a while for them to get back up.
Right.
I think we're going to see it kind of look like an EKG meter, like PulseChain. Like, I think we're going to see it like the PulseChain. Like, it's going to be like fluctuating. It's going to large spikes up, large spikes down, up, down, up, down. I think people are going to take profits. You know, but eventually it'll level out.
Day one, what do you say day one? What is it going to be day one?
I mean, I could see it. I mean, day one, I could see it opening up at a penny.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't know if it'll stay there though.
Extremely bullish.
That's extremely bullish. Look, a penny is what, 100x? Right.
Yeah,
out
I think
the bat.
so. I think that's about 100x.
100x. So, you know, I could see it pumping all the way to a penny. Will it stay there? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it opens at a penny, but I can see it touching a penny at one point or another on the first day.
Oh my God.
I'm going to stick to that because I think the excitement around this project and just the sheer the uniqueness of what this is doing in the crypto community, it's a game changer. It's a shaker. It's a shaker.
It's a mover.
It's a mover and a shaker. It's one of those things that's coming in to shake things up.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It's coming in there. You got McDonald's French fries. Yeah. Right. No. This is cheese powder that they poured into the French fry bag.
Right.
And they shook it up, baby.
Right.
And now you got cheese fries like you've never had before.
Yeah.
I think this is just such a game changing kind of cool thing, and I think it's more like a marketing thing too, because when you look at the copies, you're getting the ERC20 copies,
right?
You know, that's a marketing thing where you're getting people to already adopt it because they're going to have it already. You're going to have it's called the world's largest airdrop for a reason, because everybody that owns ERC20s is going to have a bag.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a bag of something.
I see. The thing is, I'm more conservative. I wouldn't call it bearish, but
yeah, I understand.
My prediction is day one, it's going to do a 10x.
Okay,
and
what's that price? What is that?
So that I think that let's say the sacrifice price was 10,000 points for every dollar.
Okay.
So I think that would be 3 zeros out, so 0.0001.
Okay.
I
could see, honestly, I could see that too. Like I'm not disagreeing with you. I could see that too.
Yeah, 10x.
Yeah, I could see a 10x. I could see it, but I think there's going to be a lot more fluctuation. I think it can go from 10 to 100 back to 50 down to a 10. I think it's just going to be, it's going to be bouncing all over the place.
It's going to, the thing is, look, it's going to dump. And you know that a lot of people that sacrifice are going to dump their bags.
Absolutely.
A lot of them. It will dump. The question is, do you think it will dump below sacrifice price, or do you think it'll just maintain, around that area higher?
I go back and forth on this one.
Yeah.
The realistic part of me says, yeah, it probably will dump below sacrifice price, day 5 sacrifice price. But then I think about it again and I look at it and I say, well, people are still sacrificing now. There's people still waiting to get in now. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to get a bag. The fees are going to be burned. People are going to be staking on day 1, which means they're not going to be selling. And the OA owns 90% of the coins. So I don't think, man, I just don't see it dipping like that. I think you'll be lucky. I think you'll be extraordinarily lucky if you get it below sacrifice price. And I'll tell you what, I'm not the only one that's going to be looking at that chart. if it drops below sacrifice price, you're going to have sharks in the water coming to get that blood.
Oh yeah.
You're going to be getting that blood. If they
That's
see it
true.
go below,
That's true.
if they see it at point, 4, 5 zeros and a 1, it's going to be a feeding frenzy, every man or woman for themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you for that reason, you would think that it wouldn't even go below that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, the moment it wicks down to that level, some whale just came and scooped it all up. You didn't even get a chance. Yeah, just like Richard's, you just slurped it up. You're not even gonna get a taste. You wish you could. You're not fast enough, and you're not rich enough. So you know what? I don't think it's gonna dip below that.
The thing is, look, I like to compare. Like Richard Hart talks about Pulse, and he compares it to Ethereum a lot. He says Ethereum did a 14,000x.
Yeah, in 2 years. Yeah,
in 2 years. All right. Is PulseChain going to do the same?
Yeah,
I think. Look, it took 6 months, 6 to 7 months, I believe, for Ethereum to double for the first time. So that, I mean, do you think PulseChain will do something similar? I think it will. I mean, I think it'll take some time to get to those multiple X's. I think you have to hold for a good amount of period of time. I don't know, like 1 year, 2 years. What do you see? Far out.
You do have to hold, but there's a couple of factors there where I think it's going to pump faster than Ethereum. Of course, I keep mentioning the OA, 90%, right?
Right.
You're going to have the burns. So you're going to have a delegated proof of stake where what that means is you can take your Pulse bag, you can delegate it, stake it, and then you're going to get a percentage of the fees. On every transaction, 25% of the PulseChain fee will be burned. Right. So that's going to be burned. And then out of the 75% that's left over from that fee, that's going to be distributed to people that stake by the delegator. So by the delegate, whoever you delegate your proof of stake to. So you're going to get a percentage of those fees. And I think that could be a extreme, like, amazing passive income source for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you got those two reasons. You got the reason why there's very limited supply on the market. You got people making money. They're going to be making money on the staking because it's not being printed out of thin air. Like, there's no more Pulse that's going to be printed. That's it. So it's going to be burned. And then you're going to have a percentage of it going to people that lock up their coins, not locking up in the same way as Hex, but locking them up in the sense by delegating it. And then number 3, this is the dark horse. We talked about it before, liquid loans. Liquid Loans is a project that's getting a lot of attention in the Hexagon community and the Pulse community. It's made specifically for Pulse. It's a way for people to extract value from Pulse without dumping the price. They can borrow against their Pulse, and if they in the time that if they do get liquidated, that Pulse gets redistributed out to holders. It doesn't get it's not going to get dumped on the market. So there's already a protocol in place that people are getting education on, so they don't have to dump the market by selling right away.
That's true,
right? Because if you get a bag, if you hold for less than 1 year, right, and then you have a bag of Pulse and you want to sell it, that's maybe not the best idea, right? Depending on where you live, that's not going to be the best idea. But if you can borrow a little bit from it using the Liquid Loans protocol, that protects the Pulse price. So all those factors in place, I think the pumpamentals on this coin, it's just mind-boggling. I think it's such a well-built game theory coin in the sense of the incentives to keep it and hold it are so great, and then the things that protect the price from dumping are in place as well.
No, it's gonna dump. It's gonna dump.
How far?
It's gonna dump hard.
How far?
It's gonna dump hard. So I think, look, I said day one is gonna do 10x. I think 6 months down the line, it's gonna be 5x from starting debut price. So it's gonna, drop 50% or whatever the calculation would be. Because look, you got to look at it like this. A lot of the people that have sacrificed, you don't know if they're hexagons or not. You don't know if they're the type of person that will hold for a long period of time. They might just, look at their account, their MetaMask wallet, and see $1 million and say, hey, I'm going to get out completely. You have people like BitBoy Crypto who are investing in Pulse, but they don't want to promote it. So, like, what type of person is that? Is that a person that's going to hold Pulse for the long term? I don't think so. I think these people are going to dump. A lot of people are going to dump.
Do you think the majority of the people are going to dump, or the majority of people are going to hold and utilize the Liquid Loan protocol?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think a lot of people are going to use liquid loans. But is it going to be enough to hold up the price?
See, I think there's a lot of education about liquid loans right now. And the people that don't like liquid loans, and there are people that don't like it. And the people that don't like liquid loans tend to be like hardcore, like Hexagon people. The hardcore Hexagons that say, we're never going to sell no matter what, and I don't want to borrow any money.
Right.
Other people that I think what happens with liquid loans, and there's been a lot of talk, there's been a lot, like everybody knows what liquid loans is. It's a lending protocol where you get to borrow against your pulse. I think a lot of people that are on the fence about selling and say, hey, non-taxable event, maybe I can extract a little bit of money, I don't have to kill my whole bag. I think a lot of people are going to utilize that, because I don't know if there was any protocol like that where we could borrow our crypto like that without having to hand over our keys.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like there's other protocols that where you can borrow against your crypto assets.
Right.
But this is one where you don't necessarily have to, you don't have to hand over your keys to anybody, or you don't have to have them control it. You kind of still, control your bag in a way. And we'll talk about liquid loans later, but I just think it's the perfect storm of things going on for this coin. You know what? I don't disagree with you. I think it will dump.
It's gonna dump,
but I don't think for very long. Good luck, and it's definitely not going to go below the sacrifice totals. I just can't see it. If it happens, it could happen. This is cryptocurrency. You could lose every dollar, and you could it can go to zero. But the fact of the matter is, I just think with everything in place, I don't see it. I don't see it dumping for. It could dump. We're going into a bear market, but usually these projects, newer projects that launch in a bear market, they do well.
Look, it's gonna dump. It's gonna be successful on day one. I think it's gonna dump.
How long though?
Day 5, a week after launch, it's gonna dump.
But how long is it gonna stay in the dumps and trade sideways, do you think?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, because that's important. Because I don't disagree with you that it's gonna dump. Every coin dumps. Every coin, there's going to be an opportunity to buy where people sell the tops or sell the bottoms and buy tops. There's always an opportunity where people are going to have an opportunity to get in because people are going to take profits. It's just a fact of the matter. People are going to sell their bags. People are going to need their money for emergencies. But how long though can this hold if only 10% is available on the market?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. It all depends on the debut price. I mean, if it comes out at a penny, it's going to dump hard.
There's going to be a lot of dumps. But then what if and liquid loans isn't coming out right away on the first day.
We don't.
There's going to be people that sell their bags, but then I think equally as many people dump their bags for a penny, which is fine. Hey, enjoy your profit, enjoy your 100x. I think there's going to be just as many people out there scooping up those penny bags.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't want to make this a promotion for liquid loans, but I'm curious to see what the sacrifice totals will be for liquid loans when they do have their sacrifice phase, because then it'll show you how much people are aware of that project. Because maybe nobody knows about it.
Right.
Nobody knows that
I know they do
have an option.
To not sell. A lot of people still don't even know what PulseChain is.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't even know what PulseChain or PulseX is. But let me give you my 1 year price prediction.
1 year. Let's hear it.
Here we go. You ready for it? I'm going with 7 cents.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's it. Look, 7 cents, depending on how much you sacrifice, will be life-changing wealth for a lot of people. The reason why, I think I laid out my reasons why the 7 cents, right?
I don't like this.
So you got the baked in user base, right? You got the baked in user base. You got people that already are going to be users of PulseChain, whether they like it or not. You got a strong community of people that, for the most part, believe in holding and delaying gratification. Number 3 is you got the liquid loans protocol coming out where they give the option to people to not sell and borrow against. It's an option. I'm not saying everybody's going to use it, but it is an option that I was never aware of prior to getting into crypto. But I think the more education that's out there about that will give people more of an option to do that. The OA owns 90%, and guess what? The OA ain't selling anything, because if the OA wanted to kill its own project and just sell all the coins and leave us holding the bag, they could have did that already.
Yeah.
If the OA had $15 billion to sacrifice into the PulseChain sacrifice, then why wouldn't they just be happy with $15 billion? That's all they're going to be able to extract anyway. They can get 30 billion, 16 billion, like it makes no sense. It's stupid. It would make no sense for so the OA is going to hold that price up because of the sheer amount that it owns. The reason why I say 7 cents is that I think there's going to be a lot of hype. I see us getting another stimulus check.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think another stimulus is on its way, and we're moving towards some type of, universal basic income. I'm not saying like all of it, but I'm saying like, I think there's going to be more government help on the way.
That's so what the government's going to print more money.
Yeah, they haven't stopped. So I think they're just going to keep printing money. And quite frankly, I think it's going to pump to 7 cents. Will it say to 7 cents? We could check back in 2023 around the same time, but I think in a year's time, we're going to be looking at 7 cents. And, if it hits 7 cents, there's going to be a lot of happy people. There's going to be a lot of happy PulseChains. Yep. There's going to be a lot of happy people that own liquid loans. Yep. And then I just think the protocol is going to work. I think if Solana and Cardano and XRP and all these other blockchains, Litecoin and all these other coins are doing 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 1,000x.
Right.
We definitely can do it. I think our pumpamentals are better than theirs. And I could see a 7 cents. And I think I'm being a little bit conservative on the 7 cents. What do you think is going to be after a year? What do you think? I know you're a little bit more conservative, but
1 year, folks. Quick math.
Oh, not the math.
I'm going to say, look, listen. Okay. I'm going to rely. Forget about Solana. Forget about BSC, all these other chains.
Okay, I forgot about them already.
I'm basing this solely on Ethereum's performance. And after 1 year, Ethereum did about a 25x. So my call for this one will be 1 year, 25x.
Okay, what's the dollar amount? What's the penny amount?
Let me just do the calculations. 25x would be about 2 zeros. So 0.0025.
That's pretty good.
Not even a penny.
Not a penny.
Okay, so very conservative.
Quarter of a penny.
Quarter of a point. Okay. Quarter of a penny.
Okay, quarter of a penny. Okay, quarter of a penny. I think you're off on that.
Yeah.
I'll bet you a case of Diet Dr. Pepper.
Sugar free?
Yeah, sugar free, of course. Zero Pepper, Dr. Pepper Zero. That it's going to be above that number.
See, I don't know.
A quarter of a penny, folks. It's going to be more than that. No, I don't know. Listen, we're not financial advisors. Again, this is not financial advice. This is crypto. This is cryptocurrency. You could lose every dollar that you have.
Right.
You know how it is. But I think it's going to go above that. Maybe not as high as 7 cents, but definitely above a quarter of. Hey, listen, a quarter of a penny. We'll come back on the day that it's launched and see what's going. Yeah, we'll come back and do a video on that day and see what's going on that day, and then maybe do a video at the end of the year to see where it's at and see how close we got. You might be dead on, dude.
You know the thing, I like being more conservative because then if it outperforms, it's a good thing.
Yeah, you're a hero. If it outperforms that, he's like, hey, you're a hero. You're like, oh, I was expecting less and I got more.
Yeah,
but if it doesn't hit 7 cents, they're gonna be like, well, you said 7 cents, and it only hit 6.5. Yeah, I only have $1 million.
They're gonna be pissed off.
It's like, you jerk. I was supposed to have $1.5 million. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I'm sorry that you're only a millionaire and not a multi-millionaire. But I think we both think it's going to pump. Obviously.
Yeah, it's going to pump.
It's going to make a lot of money for a lot of people, and be good stewards with that money.
Yes,
because it's coming. Just hold on to it. Forget about it. Listen, if you're getting anxiety about this and stuff like that, just take your treasure, throw it in a closet, shut off your computer, and don't even look at it.
That's hard.
Don't even look at the price. Just do something else. Go outside.
That's hard to do, man.
Yeah, watch a movie or something. Go to the movies and watch Moonfall starring Halle Berry.
Do something you like to do.
Yeah, do something you want to do. Like play some basketball or something like that, or like go to a baseball game.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Right.
All right, go on a trip.
Right.
Go on a trip. Go on a trip. Forget about it. Set it and forget it, like that guy.
Yes.
Remember that guy?
Who's that guy?
I don't know. He was a guy. He did all the infomercials. It was always put a turkey in here. Put a turkey and stuff it with butter and cheese. Set it and forget it.
I think he was convicted of multiple crimes.
I believe
went to jail.
Don't say that. Don't say that if you're not accurate about that.
Oh, no. I thought he did.
Was he convicted of crimes?
I thought he was.
What's the guy's name?
I don't know. See, we don't even know the guy's name, so never mind.
No, don't say that, because that guy could be like watching this video right now. now. He's
my
like, "Yo, I
God, no.
sacrificed for PulseChain. I thought these guys were cool.
Oh my God.
I'm the set it and forget it guy, and these guys saying that convicted of multiple crimes. See, we're spreading FUD
Sorry.
about the set it and forget it
I
guy.
apologize to
I
that
hope
man.
he didn't. He seemed like a nice guy.
Hey, look it up. I don't know. You guys look it up. I don't know.
You
Maybe
look it
I'm
up.
wrong.
Tell us below. Comment below. What happened to this? Well, let us know. Do you know the set it and forget it commercials where the guy would like have this like machine that would take up all the power in your house and like knock out the power in your house?
Oh, yeah, that guy.
And then he would stick these like turkeys on skewers and then like stuff it with like butter and garlic or something. He had this thing called the flavor injector.
Yeah.
And then it was like a big syringe of like juices and flavors, and then he would stick it in the bird's ass and then like fill it up with juices and then put it in there, and the whole thing was like, yo, set it and forget it. Put it in, set the timer, leave your house, come back, and you got a whole roasted chicken just for you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. I know we went off on a little tangent, but that's what we want to say with Pulse. Put it away, stake that piece, and then come back in a year and see what happens.
I like the analogy.
Yeah,
I like it.
I come back and be like, "Oh, look at my pulse!" Like, it started off, let's say you sacrifice $500, right? And then you come back and it's $1 million, and you're like, "What? How did that happen?" Set it and forget it. Buy now, call now, and you get the second set it and forget it.
That's
for
right.
free,
Mm-hmm.
which is your copies on PulseChain. It's all your. But listen, we went off the rails on this one, but
we did.
7 cents, quarter of a penny. If you like this video, share this video. Comment below about set and forget. Do you remember those commercials? And number 2, did that guy get convicted? Because I'm pretty sure he didn't. But if he did, please let us know. And 3, subscribe to our channel. Look, subscribe to us, man. We don't have a lot of followers. We need you.
Yeah, we need
you
some
guys.
followers, man.
Yeah, man. Like, let us know. What can we do? What do you guys want to talk about next? We gave you our price predictions. They're kind of crazy. Nobody really knows. It's not out yet. We don't even know the damn supply.
We don't.
So we're just pulling this out of thin air.
We don't know a damn thing.
You know what? We'll do that. What else do you want us to talk about? I mean, we've been talking about crypto. I kind of want to talk about other things, but crypto's fine. So let us know what you want us to talk about next.
Yeah.
And full thrust out.
Full thrust.